Recently here at Coral Glades, we've had many changes. From the redoing of our courtyard to the renovation of our den. Coral Glades has not been free of change in these past years. In the den specifically, Miss Sarah, our media specialist, has brought new ideas here to Coral Glades through her new book. It's
called Hear Me, and it's about a girl with hearing loss, and I myself am deaf, so I wear a cochlear implant and hearing aid, and it's just about a girl who's losing her hearing very suddenly. Her parents are trying to force her to have this implant surgery that she does not want, and so she ends up running away and kind of realizing that even though her ears are broken, she's not broken herself.
Writing to Miss Sarah is all about connection. All her characters and stories are backed by her own, real experiences, just like her other book.
My first book, Just a Drop of Water, came out almost 8 years ago. It's won multiple awards and made a couple state reading lists. That book is about two boys and how their friendship is tested in the wake of 9/11. And this really comes from a personal relationship I had with a friend of mine prior to 9/11, but also a little bit after 9/11 because he is Muslim.
And it's this very connection with her books that makes them what they are. From her experience, she found a voice, and she believes other writers should too.
And I think that's what makes a story even stronger, when a writer can put their own personal, if it's not necessarily their experience, but at least the emotion they had of certain experiences into the book. It increases the heart.
Her books manage to connect to more than just her, though. Writing this book has both directly inspired students at Coral Glades and helped her to connect better with them.
Honestly, I talk a lot about books being windows and mirrors for kids, and that's what I try to push. I know that I didn't see myself in a book in terms of a character who was deaf or struggling with hearing loss until I was in my 40s. And that book it's actually up there. I don't know if you can see it, El Defo. And that changed my life because I read it and I was pretty much in tears the whole time. Yes, somebody finally understands me. And so I am really on a mission to always push books that I think kids need. This book, Hear Me, I didn't realize in terms of windows what we talk about of being empathy. So you might read about a person who has hearing loss and it's not necessarily your experience, but you can be empathetic towards somebody because you're going, okay, I didn't realize that. But honestly, my son wrote a review of this book that just kind of blew me away, because as much as I talk about books being windows, I didn't realize how much I needed that on the receiving end until he wrote this review going, I'm so sorry, I didn't realize how bad it was. And I think that was pretty powerful for me in terms of being able to recommend books, because it just elevates that discussion. So it's more than just handing a book to somebody saying, here, try to learn about a different experience, but then having those discussions afterwards that really brings it to another level. I will always be passionate about pushing diverse books and finding the books that the kids need.
The book has made quite a splash around campus. From students to even teachers, everyone is hearing what Miss Sarah has to say.
It's actually a very interesting and emotionally compelling story. It's pretty clear from the book that the character goes through experiences that are similar, if not identical, to the experiences that Miss Sarah had with her hearing loss.
Overall, Miss Sarah is very passionate about her writing. Writing has given her a voice to connect to other students, and even personally helped her in many ways.
I feel like maybe it was just therapy for me, because I pretty much the words came pouring out of me in about 4 months. I wrote the first draft of this in only 4 months. And it had been through several revisions after that, but I felt like I needed to write it. I wasn't sure I would ever publish it because I don't necessarily like talking about my hearing loss. But I felt like it might be something, if I was reading this book when I was first diagnosed at 16, I feel like a story like that where I would have felt less alone might have helped me. So in the end, I was like, you know what? I'm going to try to publish it and see if maybe it can just touch one person's life, then it's going to be worth it.